Hello, YouTube. We are back. Next day, same spot, because totally did not play well. I just slept and stuff. But let's go check out the kids. So you got Roka, Shion, Oharu, and Yuzan. Are you taking a rest too? Promise you'll play with us again soon. The game of hide and seek in Vesper Bay was the most fun I've had in forever. If I were as big as a mountain and strong as a bear like Mr. Boulder is, maybe I would like fighting more. Yazan always has been the strongest of us, but he's no match for Kaharu when she's mad. That's not like how I'm like half the height of the kids. Look, it's Miss Lily. She's back from her adventures. We heard you're fighting off primals and that they're some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our very own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all the Domans. Oh, do you think you could train us today, Miss Lily? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals? What's all this commotion then? Mr. Boulder and Mr. Lieutenant? I don't know. Did you know that Miss Lily is back? So it would seem. Welcome home, Lily. My companion and I, but recently became full members of Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I am... Ferrari? Boulder? I'm gonna keep calling you Boulder because, yeah. And this bookish fellow is Lieutenant. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we have taken it upon ourselves to instruct the Doman younglings in the arts of combat. Ah, I told you, Mr. Boulder. We are not younglings anymore. We are adventurers. And we were just asking Miss Lily if she could give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside her, don't you? No, but okay. Well, you've certainly been diligent with your drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mordana are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Lily? A demonstration of skill at arms, if you will. Boulder, if I didn't know you better, and I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against the legend. Well, mayhaps I am. What matters is the motive when the children stand to learn so much from the lesson. What say you, Lily? Will you consent to spar with me? Yeah, why not? Hurrah! We have a tournament. Come on, everyone. We must prepare our gear for an outing. Do try not to disappoint them, Have faith! I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make this a worthy contest. Fields to the east of the town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. Get out of the rising stones. Those are anticlimactic mount summoning ever. Usually you have the music. Why is there no mount music? That's so weird. I don't think I've ever had music not play. Is sparring dangerous? I don't think I want to see anyone else being hurt. We had a master of lessons back in Doma, and the way he taught us was very different from Mr. Boulder. I'm not sure which way is better, but I think I like them both. Since becoming a Scion, I have had much opportunity to hear news of your epic deeds. I must confess, then, that my excitement rivals that of the children's at the prospect of seeing you in action firsthand. There's music. Why was there no music playing? As we left the Rising Stones, Mr. Thankrad asked us where we were going. I told him we were off to watch you and Mr. Boulder fight, and he looked very surprised. I hope we haven't made him cross. Miss Lily is here. Let the battle begin. 'Twas good of you to agree to this, Lily. I trust you are ready to begin. Let's go. Very well. Let us not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Ahem. Boulder, are you certain you wish to fight her alone? It is Lily you face. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, it was this hero's legend that led me to join the Science to begin with. Without Lily to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. Hello? You haven't begun yet, have you? Ida, what? Who are all these people? When I heard about your sparring match, I told everyone I could find. I thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, and there are still more to come when I mentioned Lily's name. The reaction was quite enthusiastic. Why, my own popularity seems but a sickly shade in comparison. You best claim victory, bringer of light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Boulder. We shall soon see. On your guard. Day and night I've honed my skills. Now comes the time to test them. There are other people here now. He's already down one. Ugh, such power. Tails barely do you justice. Mr. Boulder won't lose, will he? It's not over yet. It can't be. The children have the right of it. It's time I join the fray. On your feet. Must admit defeat. It was an honor and a privilege. Oh no, he looks hurt. Miss Lily is so strong, but you can't give up, Mr. Boulder. Can't disappoint the younglings. Ugh. Yeah, I don't need him anymore because it's sync dust. I was like, why is that a color? With your example, I follow. Surrender. Surrender not to the implacable foe. You have bested me. I yield. Yes. That was incredible. She beat them both at the same time. We knew you couldn't lose, Lily. None can defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they send you to deal with the Primals. I have much work to do if I'm ever to attempt the same. Impressive as always, Lily. 'Tis ever a pleasure to witness the spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles in these many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of Eorzea. Yes, that is a most fitting title. You recall when we first met? It was at the memorial service for the Battle of Carteneau. No, actually, it was on the carriage or the ship. We just didn't talk. At the time, I was yet attempting to understand this land of Eorzea. I sought to grasp the reason why grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abounded, and yet the effort I saw expended towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzeans a foolish and childish people, considering the shambles their home was in. I would not have been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. The legatus' single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, and the nations too self-involved and unstable. I'll give you a look, you better change your mind. It was you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. What? It was you who taught me, through countless acts of bravery, that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor its history, nor any single nation. It was the people. These wonderful, infuriating, stubborn people that suffer blow after terrible blow only to drag themselves back to their feet, to face another day. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. I too will endeavor to take up the mantle of Guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the science of the Seventh Dawn alone. No, what is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Ascians is a new, expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, then pray let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stones. We will save Eorzea. No. So, yeah, that was going to... Still got the music bugged out. Maybe I'll log out and log back in a bit. Maybe because I was stayed logged in, something bugged with the music. Did you... Because each mountain has its own, like, music. I want to get to the point where we have to do the damn power or the other primals, if I can. I don't think it'll be like in this video. Well, I don't know. I don't know exactly when it pops up. Thank you for coming, Lily. The world shifts and alters, and we, my friend, must ever be one step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization. A group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. Recruiting the round. Pray forgive me if I tread over old ground, but I would first speak of the grand plan. Since the advent of the 7th astral era, the leaders of the three nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the disparate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. The realm-wide Grand Company, if you will. The military might of such an institution would be drawn from every corner of the land and directed against threats that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Yet, while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I sense the impetus towards unification draining away. Thus have I been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on a much smaller scale than what we hope to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation according to the science. Accorded to the science, it is my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. Also, being a primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fear of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of Minfilia. The Scions work tirelessly to protect the Eorzea and its people. But as you yourself have witnessed with the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under the Scion's command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goals of my proposed organization and those of the Scions are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing this precursor to the true order-spanning Grand Company, 'tis yet necessary that I visit the three leaders and gain their official approval. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask that you accompany me on the journey and attend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members while I am otherwise engaged with the bureaucrat- bu- bureaucratic formalities. Thank you. It is reassuring indeed to know that the bringer of light and her discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. Our first destination will be Limsa Lominsa. Let us rendezvous at Bulwark Hall. You know what he's doing? Has he talked to you yet? It's probably presently subdued. Now it's perfect time to focus on new endeavors. Oh, what? She does. She was saying something about Alphino. Alphino has long been laying the groundwork for this organization of his, and he looks to you to help turn his proposal into reality. Pray lend him what aid you can. I like how we just had the conversation next to her, but she wasn't involved in it. Like, I'm sure he talked to her before I showed up, but, like, it's just kind of funny. We were just... Your room is our, you know. One of these is not like the other. One is not an NPC! Oh, wait. I'm, like, trying to go in. Ah, there you are. I'm ready to ascend the bridge and speak with the Admiral. Yeah, that name. While the Admiral and I are finalizing permissionary boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavored to spread the word of our organization through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for potential members, 'tis of no matter should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it. And you need it range into the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. Once you are satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter, that we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. We're on the upper... Oh no, we're not. We're on the lower deck. Okay, let's get to the upper deck. Everywhere. I see people everywhere. There's one in the blacksmith area. There's one. The missing member. Anchor yard. Okay. Seventh Sage and the Marauders. Okay. We're talking to her. Precursor to a united Eorzean Grand Company. While I do admire the scope of your ambition, my responsibilities here Nadek and Vemeli, keep me close to the forge. I have not the time to be traipsing hither and yon across the realm. Should you require my skills in armor, however, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. Boom. Technically, we have commissions. Eh? Who in the bloody hells do you think you're talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some sodding knight in shining plate. If you're looking for a self-righteous fop, try knocking it on that dandy Carvelin's door. What missions or when we talked to... Have we already talked to the missing member before? I don't think we have. See, my memory blends. Because I've played too many characters and stuff. Obviously, in certain cases, I know that it doesn't, but like, some of the side characters are like, is it side quests that I've talked to them, or is it... Rayo? Well, if it ain't Lily, I'd not forget an adventure brave enough, or daft enough, to seek the shortcut into Titan's bedchamber. You remember old Rayo, don't you? Formerly of the Company of Heroes? 3 whistles up Bronze Lake. Aye. It ain't often I drag me ass out to Limsa for a drink, but I'm right glad I did. How fare you these days? You're looking to put together a new crew. Top tier work. Sounds like a right lark, it does. Alrighty, lass, count me in. The heroes may have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into me grave just yet. We got somebody from the Company of Heroes. I'll get there eventually. You just teleport. Go here, hit the Marauders Guild. This is kind of in between both of them, so. Rainer! Master Alpha knows new organization. Yes, I'd heard the formation of this trial company was in the offing. 'Tis with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation. As a commander of the Yellow Jackets, the protection of Limsa Lominsa must needs receive my full attention. Speaking of the devil, you're who she told me to go for. An organization with freedom to operate with territorial impunity. I must say, your proposal intrigues me. But the Krakens well know that there is a time to act and a time to watch, and I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter category. Actually, because it's airship, airship landing. You should be able to just teleport from the Ethernet. Boom. Hey, Alpna. Lily, recruiting went well, I trust. I am curious as to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folk of Limsa Lominsa. Ah, a member of the legendary Company of Heroes indicated his interest. Astonishing. I knew enlisting your aid was the right choice. Few could boast the acquaintance of such an elusive character. I too was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents requiring her approval. I can only hope that my visit with the other Seed Seer proceeds as smoothly. Pray continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall await your arrival at Lofika's altar. Gridania! Oof. Andra? Alpha. My audience with the other Seed Seer is due to commence momentarily. I'd be grateful if you would once more see to the task of recruitment here in Gridania. After you deem the well of potential candidates has run dry? Okay. Has run dry, let us rendezvous at the airship ticket counter as before. Where am I going? The falls. Okay. Actually, let me just teleport over there. I can't teleport to the falls, but I can teleport to the amphitheater. Which has one of them. You! Hi. Y'all remember this dude? He sold people out. I'm pretty sure that's him. Oh gods, can it truly be you? By what fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? Eh? Could it be that you don't remember me? It is I, Laurentius, the man whose crimes you exposed. I was a whaler and a regular patron at the errands. Yes, now I remember. Who? Yes, now I remember. I actually did beforehand, but you know. Well, of course you do. I was beginning to wonder if Gull had changed me more than I realized. Not that I have any particular wish to be recognized after my shameful conduct. The less said of my past, the better, I suppose. And what of you, adventurer? What business brings you to this part of Gridania? Recruiting, eh? And what is your policy on reformed convict? As matters stand, the Wood Whalers will have naught more to do with me. This may be just the second chance I was looking for. Revenant's toll, you say? I shall leave at once. You shall not regret this. I promise you I'm a changed man. Hope you are, motherfucker. Oh, they're all up there. Okay. All the people we need to talk to. My back is perfectly fine, I tell you. You'll have to tie me to my bed if you think to prevent me from... Ooh, well, mayhaps I will rest just for a short while. Grandfather, you must call it a day. Let us return to the guild and rest. Ere your tormented back gives up on you for good. I'm terribly sorry, we were just... Oh, Lily, isn't it? It has been some time since our paths crossed outside of the Copper Bell mines. Yeah, remember how we were seeing people outside? They were two that we saw back then. This is what I meant by, like, you see people of past things if you pay attention. and it's good to like actually try to remember the different people. But obviously, there's just so many people in this game that it's easy to forget people or miss people. Because technically, I don't think you have to talk to these two at any point in time. Why? You were barely more than a novice adventurer then. But look how far you've come. Mother tells me 'twas you who felled the fearsome black wolf. And now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of a new order? Hmm. Well, your cause is undoubtedly just, and my old companion here would be much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. This is the very thing I've spent my entire adventuring career working towards. I shall join your company just as soon as I've seen Isildur? Isildar? Safely home. You would offer this old man a place in your company of champions? I am both puzzled and honored by your invitation. Pray forgive me, young mistress, but I cannot accept. I have sworn to abide here for whatever scant years remain to me, and bear responsibility for the evils my lady has wrought upon this land. And obviously he was the maid, servant dude of, demon girl from the manor. Tis not often a guild officer such as yourself gets recruited. And this company of yours certainly sounds to have some promise, but its duties appear less than focused. You must refuse your invitation until such time as your organization is more organized. Understandable. So, I got us a criminal and I got us a good person. What news, Lily? For my part, the other seat here was most amenable to our requirement. A former wood whaler and a seasoned adventurer, our company will not lack for variety, that much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. Shall we strike into Udal whilst the iron is hot? Let us meet at the Royal Promenade, and endeavour to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. Do 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 do. Limsa, so dog. I was trying to remember if I had it. Because my other characters have one on return and one on, say, it's the same kind of thing. Like, which one do we go to first? Doll, the gilded city, where one's fortune defines one's worth. I hope some manner of fortune is with us, and that this final leg proves as successful as the previous two. Might I suggest descending to the lower level before beginning your recruitment efforts? I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. Let us meet back here at the promenade when our respective tasks are complete. Good hunting, Lily. How many? 5. Wonder if you get close enough. You can figure out which one is the Vista without. It's been a while. Pretty sure one of these is the Vista. I think it's here anyway. Anyway, let's move on. It might also be like timed or something too. Like only at night. They're weird like that. Will Red! How you doing, my man? Wait, you're the lady who came to Little Alamigo looking for that masked devil. Who knows what might have happened if you hadn't. I'd probably be dead, and a whole lot more of my friends besides. We were such fools. Anyway, that disaster really got me to thinking about our homeland and about the outsider who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I'd been manipulated and vowed to make of myself a more worldly man. So here I am. A new company of champions, and you say it will take me to all corners of the realm? That sounds exactly like the kind of opportunity I need. And don't worry, I'm not the same stripling you met in Little Alamigo. I prepared myself to fight the evil I now know is out there. Yeah, he was the little dude that got the rebellion to try to summon Ralger. I grew up so fast. Oh, maybe it's here. Is this? No, this is where I just was, right? Is there more circles? And it might be that there's more circles, too. I don't remember exactly where it is. I know on top of one of these, like, spike things is a Vista. Because I tried to get it a few times, I remember, and I could never, like, land on it proper. I don't know if I ended up actually doing it in the end. Hey, Linda Bart. Hi. You'd be surprised what rumors drift down to Pearl Lane. I know this glorious new company of yours and just how far I'd go to avoid getting involved with it. Whispers on the street say your organization is funded by corrupt coin, by syndicate money. If you think you're recruiting for a just cause, then you're a bigger fool than I took you for. Who are we trying to recruit over here? Hello. A company that looks to cure the ills of the realm and hire. Listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next all over, let alone the conundrums of a neighboring nation. I mean, you're not wrong. Wait, we can't cut over here. There's another place to cut over. It's been a while since I've actually walked around Udall. Outside of getting like the Ethernet shards when we first started, I usually don't. I usually teleport to places. Okay, so we have Weaver's Guild and somebody over there. Yellow Moon. I'm sorry, you wish to recruit me? Is this some new fashion manner of propositioning a lady? No. Well, I'm afraid you're wasting your time. This lady is already spoken for. Good day to you, miss. Okay then. Just rude. Arson? Orson? Oh, what a happy coincidence. Do you remember me, perchance? I am Arson, of the Church of Saint Amada Landama? Thank you again for your timely rescue. I must also thank you for preventing that fraudulent priest from preying on dry bones. Less fortunate, a most upsetting business. Are you here with your companion Thancred, wasn't it? Ah, this new companion you seek then. Your proposed organization sounds a powerful force for good, but my place is at the church with the children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this undertaking. Well, we're done recruiting here. Yeah, yeah, Will Red, so that's a good one. He pretty much learned from his mistakes right away. How fared you, Lily? What hidden gems did the streets of Ildal offer up to your unrelenting gaze? A single Alamegian youth. Well, you've certainly given us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. In these troubled years following the calamity, talk of Eorzea's salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen up to the challenge nonetheless, and the hope that inspires these people was born in no small part from the victories you yourself have won. Thank you, Lily. I will not squander the precious gift you have placed into my keeping. These recruits will become the foundation of a new beginning. And yes, we are free to begin. As you have no doubt surmised, the Sultana also graced my trial company with her blessings. Our first wave of recruitment is over, the documents signed, and the finances secure. There's naught to prevent me from taking the next step. You are concerned by the syndicate's involvement, as was I. Thus was the origin of every coin of their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Naturally, I would prefer not to rely upon outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers could not sustain a venture of this magnitude. And as for the rumors and doubts surrounding this enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn people's trust one success at a time. Speaking of time, we should waste no more of it. Let us return to the Rising Stones and lay the first stone for a united Eorzea.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alfino's bold endeavor?
I think it is more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience, since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ul'dah is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the Warrior of Light would betray our cause.
Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about Telechi?
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'Dan law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
Have faith, Your Grace. It is not over.
Well then. You can be glad we're not a part of most of that, specifically. That way we don't have to obey to the fucking Syndicate. That is not a journey I soon wish to repeat. But I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of all our effort is at hand. I must see to the preparations for the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for following me to monopolize your services, Lily. I'm certain Minfilia will be relieved to see you free for other duties. Political harassment. Greetings, Lily. Alphinaud tells me all is in place to begin his trial company. The Scions shall certainly be grateful to have the support of such an organization. The inaugural ceremony is set to take place here at the Rising Stones. Toucher is cooperating with Alphinaud to see that all is in readiness, so I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices for the time being. Quite a number of new faces have arrived in Revenant's toll of late, and I wonder if Slaftborn might not find himself overwhelmed Would you speak with him and see if there is aught he requires? Sure. He's cool. I'll help him. Meanwhile, all the scions are just sitting there around the table. But fine, I'll do it. Don't worry. I'll do it. What can I do for you, Lily? I thought you'd have your hands full helping out with this new arm of the Scions. Try to help you. I barely noticed your recruits arrive. It was barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters we have passing through here every day. While I appreciate your offer of aid, it is more your burden that concerns me. Told this trial company will answer directly to Minfilia, so I trust that means less work for you in the long run. That far in the shipment, we couldn't... Odds, woman, what befell? We're bringing a shipment to the Revenant's Toll, provisions earmarked for the frontier effort. But just as we sought to cross over to Mordana, we were set upon by brigands. I believe they may have been heretics? They were many, too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Pray forgive us. There's not to forgive. Provisions can be replaced, but smart soldiers are hard to find. Take your rest, and I'll have someone along to tend to those wounds. What to do? Heretics are involved, and this is like to be more than a case of simple thievery. Ishgard will need to be informed. Whence did these supplies originate? House for Temps. We collected the provisions from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are apprised of this development. Lily? Were you not on good terms with the Knights of House Pratem? Yeah, Harshafan. I will be sending them a missive immediately, of course, but I would also have you travel there and offer your considerable talents. Yes, I realize I contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can help bring this incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favorable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measures. Of course. I'd love to say hey to Hoshafant again. Thank you for understanding. I'm certain Lord Hoshafant will be glad of your assistance. Yes, we get to see our friend again. Buddy, I'm back. Hey, Hoshafant. How you doing? Well, well, if it isn't my fine friend, Lily Lovecraft. Would you care for a plate of roast caracal? Some mulled wine? No? Ah, I see you have not come into my hall merely to escape the biting cold. I was, in fact, on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, and I suspect the timing of her arrival is no coincidence.
The incident with the new frontier hands? No, no, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest. Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurthus soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Fortom does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts. 'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name. What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait? Halone's blessings be upon you! Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise.
I got you, bud.
But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
Such a nice person. Again, one of the few that didn't treat us like shit when we came here. Actually, do it this way. Because we can fly, we can just come in from the front. Hey, bud. Hey, gentlemen. Lily, is there aught you would ask of me? Pray speak plainly. I am a man of action, and need no honey words. On the trail of a band of thieving heretics, you say? By the Fury, but you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess, then, 'tis a sad truth that the wilds hereabouts have indeed grown thick with their number. They strike swiftly without warning, and are canny enough to evade our most able trackers. But 'tis not merely their new-found organization that confines us. The heretics themselves seem somehow changed. I know not what manner of influence this Iceheart wields, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervor. It is an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Perhaps you would care to question one of their recent victims. As fate would have it, your arrival came moments after a trader was waylaid on the road. A patrol found the unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow, and carried him to our infirmary. Assuming he has regained the use of his facilities, The merchant might recall some small detail that could aid you in your task. Mistreated merchant. Tell you what happened? Well, yes, of course. I am quite recovered enough for that. Anything to help catch those cowardly Blackhearts. I was traveling my usual route to White Brim Front when a sudden blow sent me reeling. The next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and several heretics were rifling through my cargo. Arms, armor, crystals, they were taking everything. It was then that one of them noticed my bleary gaze and stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." I dare say that is where they were hauling my goods, but you'll not catch me rushing off in pursuit. They tell me 'twas a miracle I survived at all, and I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time. When being hard-headed is useful. I still have... I do not. Surrender the crystals. Your end is come. Has it though? Has it really? Speak with the house during the night. Over here. Ah, draw your weapons, fool. Or foul. Wait, I recognize you, adventurer. You come seeking heretic. We share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced across one of their raiding parties and pursued them here. By rights, we should have had them cornered in this ravine, and yet they're gone. Vanished like icy wraiths. Which means there's a secret path. Ten out of 10 voice cutscene. You glimpsed the woman atop the cliff, but it be Iceheart herself. Come to sneer at our folly. Pretty much. Until where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered a passage through the frozen wall, some hidden tunnel that escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. Twould be best we were to return to White Brim Front and lay our suspicions before Lord Gilliman. Sure, but I could keep searching, but you know, whatever. I won't bother. Dive bomb! Actually, no. Let's drill them out, so let's go up the roof again. What are you sitting on the roof? all the way up. Lily, it appears I owe my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no detail in their report. The men you found out near Snow Cloak were some of my finest. That they should be bested so handily, I fear I have woefully underestimated the threat that these heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask that you put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. It would be ill-advised to blunder unprepared into what may well be the very lair of our enemy. Pray return to Dragonhead and inform Lord Hushafont of your discoveries. He will wish to plan contingencies of his own. As for Iceheart and her fanatics, the freezing heights of Snowcloak will not shield them from our justice for long. Good flyer, I could just spend 100 gil and teleport over there. You know my lazy ass don't just teleport. Actually don't mind flying, but it does take a lot longer. Not a lot longer, but... And we can get through more pushing that way.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody.
There's blood just of my enemies.
But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart?
She huffed and puffed at me.
Indeed. And this transpired at Snowcloak?
Yep, that's exactly where she huffed a bit.
Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Giving the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
You a good person, man. I got your back if you need me. Got you, my man. Lily, 'tis good to see you return to the toll. How fare you in the frozen wastes of Kurthus? Hasfatum is to send us a second shipment. I must send thanks to Lord Hushafont for his continued generosity. Yet even as our town grows in prosperity, I fear it will attract ever greater numbers of those who would do us harm. In the name of greed or power, all of us, Alphino's new recruits included, must remain vigilant against such threats. Not circlet. Yeah, you can do for other classes too. Let's go ahead and get them because I think that's technically technically higher stuff than what we have on. Brave new companions. That's funny. While you were away in Kurthis, preparations for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed, although Tataru doesn't yet seem somewhat flustered. I've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head into the Rising Stones and see if your frantic receptionist could do with a hand? What's up, Tataru? Do you need me? These parchments need to be sorted, and these documents, why are they even here? Oh, I'm sorely tempted to file the lot in my waste paper basket. Ha! Lily, you startled me. You wish to lend a hand? Splendid! Would you be a dear and hand these uniforms to the new recruits? They're scattered about Revenant's Toll, and I haven't the time to track them all down. Recruits know to don their garb immediately and assemble here in the Rising Stones. You want to report directly back to Alphino if you don't wish to miss the ceremony. I wonder if the Scions will ever have matching outfits. A well-funded organization is a well-dressed organization, I suppose. Present the uniforms to the recruits. 0 out of 8. We have 8 recruits. Hashe. Hashe? Those who believe this company will see no riches are short-sighted fools. The giving of oneself is an investment in the future. Thus did I sign my name to the cause. Okay, here's your ultramarine uniform. These uniforms were a splendid idea. This organization has made a name for itself. There shall be wealth aplenty in selling replica costumes to the adoring masses. Well, you're not really fit for our organization. The fuck are you talking about, sir? You're all about the merchandise. You up? You're up. Lunches. What? What's over there? I don't see it. What's over here? I thought it best to mimic my fellows here, but I admit that I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing. You know, same. I just did the same thing. I was just trying to see what y'all looking at. Ah, our new uniforms. I'm reminded of my induction into the Wood Whalers. Seriously though, what the fuck are you guys looking at? The rock? I can't even see enemies from here. Is that what you're doing? You're making sure there's no enemies coming, or what the fuck? Oh, there's Liana. Hello. Isidore has at last retired from the adventurer's life, though I shall miss his wisdom and irrepressible spirit, I'm excited to forge my own path forward. There's a uniform. Ah yes, the uniform. Thank you. Truth be told, the thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organization is somewhat intimidating. Argomath? Scarlet garb marks me as a proud member of the Maelstrom, and a hardy defender of Limsa Lominsa, yet in truth I stand for the betterment of the realms, and thought this new company a fine opportunity to contribute on a grander scale. I like your cut. Oh, now that's a striking shade of blue. But alongside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe will certainly not lack for color. Ilberd. Ilberd? I don't believe we met him, Ilberd, and I will have the honor of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much did I lose to the calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in rebuilding their lives. Here you go. Uniforms are a shrewd decision. There's no easier method of creating a common bond among what is, essentially, a band of strangers. Of course you're hiding in the corner. Hi, Raoul. Well there, lass. Looking for me, was he? I'd suggest giving a whistle, but I'm not sure as I'd hear it among all the bustle. Here's your uniform, bud. Oh, proper uniforms and all. This thing'll cut off the blood to me head. Not to worry though. I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. I would be doing the same. There's no way I'm gonna be insert. Depending on how the uniform is? Nah. Getting adjusted. Hey, Will Red. Little Alamigo can learn much from Revenant's Toll. This town can be so alive in the midst of such desolation. Here you go. I've never worn aught quite so voluptuous. Well, I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. Emmy? Lily Lovecraft. Odds, I did not expect to meet you strolling about town. The tales of your primal battles would inspire me to come to Revenant's Toll. Here's your uniform. It's an honor to receive this uniform from your hand. I shall wear it with pride. Welcome. I'm just helping out when I can help out. Run! Run, run! Alphana, I gave out your uniforms. Yes, Lily? Ah, Tetra mentioned you were handing out the new uniforms. I assume you've now met the rest of the recruits. Some few answered the calls to arms. I put forth through the established grand companies and such. We are not yet an army, but there is much a small corps of elite warriors can achieve. Did I mention I thought of a name for the company? It is my hope that it shall soon be known across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment of truth draws near, Lily. Once the last of the recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement.
Comrades, Your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
A rousing speech, Alphino. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, Antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
The Scions stand ready.
Amen, Delia.
I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension. Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Urianger. My thanks. I shall contact you anon. When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well? I wonder, have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans?
Nope.
Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidelin's silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
Very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let's hope this shipment has spared the fate of the last. The winds are uncommon fierce this day. Boy, that's not good. Eorzea defended. We already... I don't know if we've seen the uniforms. But that is Ishgard. What's our current item? Oh, okay, it is a higher item level. Try as I might, I cannot shake a creep sense of dark foreboding, but it avails us not to fret about the unknown. We must concentrate instead on the problems of the present. The primals have been relatively quiet of late, and the beast tribes who summon them are under constant surveillance by the Grand Companies. Should any suspicious activity be afoot, you may be certain that we will hear of it. Until such time as a permanent solution to the primal problem has been found, we can do little but wait and observe. As for the Ascians, Aranje is wholly dedicated to finding the means by which we may defeat the Dark Beings. Let us pray for good tidings on that front. But all of this you knew already. Let us speak then of more current matters, in particular the state of the Crystal Braves. Alphino did well to found the organization, but ensuring its smooth operation is another matter entirely. Though I doubt not that he is doing his best, I felt a helping hand or two would not go astray. To this end, I offered to send one of the Archons to assist him, but he declined. You know how he can be, independent to a fault and singularly loath to accept help, save, of course, when that help comes from you. Alphino has entrusted countless matters of import to your care in the past, and I believe he would not hesitate to do so again, were you to offer. I should be most grateful if you would go to him, and support him in whatever manner you are able. Oh no. You need something? I've been sent, I've come to help you. Dispatch the first unit to Uldal. The second and the fourth are to stand by for further orders. What? From invoices to petitions to... It's a war, Lily! The desk is my front line, and I fear I've been overrun! The war? Many of my countrymen are skilled with bow or blade. I have made it my mission to rally those with such talents to the Braves' cause. I only hope we can be of some small assistance. Condemned refugees to death. Wait a minute, that's not right. In which event, we must guide them to Little Alamigo. Else we condemn them to certain death. Ida, what did I just say? Condemned refugees. Wait a minute, that's not right. Okay. I talked to that out of order because I was like, wait, what? Why is that what she's saying? Ligiri. In traditional Doman cuisine, we strive for perfect balance, not only of flavor and texture, but also of nutrition. For a meal to be truly satisfying, it must nourish the body as well as delight the senses. Yes, 'twould be foolish to sacrifice nutrition for flavor. If Higiri and our more skilled culinarians will work closely together, I dare say they could create extraordinary dishes sure to satisfy Eorzean and Doman alike. Have fun playing with your knife? Dazzling floral arrangement. Each blossom a peerless beauty in her own right, the blessing and burden of an overactive imagination. Hey, Huzan. Where have those younglings disappeared to? Making the most of their newfound freedom, no doubt. Hey, you two. Those azure uniforms are really rather striking. I think I shall remain a Scion for the nonce. These walls have become my home, and the Scions my family. Besides, I'm not sure blue really is my color. Green in my cassock brings out my eyes, just as Boulder's breeches bring out the red in his. Trying to see your eyes, but I'm too goddamn short. Look forward, never back. Devote yourself only to the present. This is what I've learned from the Domans. Cool. Hey, Afna. What is it, Lily? And do be concise, I am rather busy. You would lend a hand, you say, I see. Well, now that you mention it, there is a matter that wants for your attention. Given its sensitive nature, I was hesitant to entrust it to my braves. But the demands upon my time are such that I had little choice. Which is not to say that my men want for labor. Though we are but newly formed, there is already a great demand for our services, and we are hard-pressed to answer all petitions, but I digress. The fact is, I would sooner attend to this particular matter myself, but my presence is required elsewhere. That being the case, I have entrusted its resolution to my second-in-command, Captain Ilberd. Tell him that I sent you, and he will furnish you with the particulars. My thanks in advance, Lily. This motherfucker didn't hesitate 1 second to give it to me. And Philia has him down to a T. Hail, bird.
Hail to you, Scion. How might we serve you?
I'm serving you. What's the mission?
Commander Leveilleur bade you serve us?
So I said.
These are welcome tidings indeed. Given the sensitive nature of the task, I could not rely on one of my own. That which I'm about to tell you, I tell you in the strictest confidence.
I'm coming closer.
Some days ago, we received certain documents from an anonymous source. They notified us of the presence of a Garlean agent within the ranks of one of the Grand Companies. Following some discreet inquiries, we identified a suspect among the Immortal Flames, whom we detained for questioning. Alas, the man was not our agent. He was but one of many men in the agent's employ. We pressed the traitor for a name, but he had none to give. He claims never to have met his master, whom he knows only as the Ivy. He was, however, certain that this ivy had coiled itself around every part of the immortal flames. It would seem our quarry joined the company some time ago and gradually recruited others to his cause. These conspirators are the vines by which he learns our secrets, all without exposing himself. It won't be easy to identify the ivy amidst this tangled mass of subterfuge, but we have a tendril in our hands, and we shall follow it all the way to the gnarled root. Now, much as I would prefer to proceed with due discretion, circumstances demand that this matter be settled post-haste. Garlemald's War of Succession nears its end, and it is feared that the Empire will soon resume its march on Eorzea. When it does, we can ill afford to have traitors in our midst. The ivy must be rooted out now. We must begin by apprising General Roban of our findings. I would ask that you accompany me to the Hall of Flames and remain on hand to see that things go smoothly.
Sure.
Assuming the ivy's tendrils are as widespread as we believe, he will be aware that an investigation is underway, and if that is the case, he may well move against us. We must be prepared for anything, while taking care not to betray our purposes by seeming prepared. A simple enough task for a one-woman army like you.
Traitors. Traitors everywhere. It's funny how like certain cutscenes and like sections I've forgotten. And then like as it happens, like, oh, I remember this entire section. Because you don't see half this shit when you're like skipping cutscenes and going through fast. And like you see like the first line.
Well, well. What brings you here, my friend?
She is here at my behest. Greetings, Roban. It has been a while.
Hilbert, you old scoundrel. When they told me you'd be visiting, I scarce believed my ears. But look at you! The honored captain of the Crystal Bloody Braves. Who'd have imagined, eh?
Not many, but fewer still would have imagined your destiny lay in politics, old friend.
Aye. We've both come far, have we not? Lest you wonder, Hilbert and I go back a long way. We've been friends and rivals since we were lads. The last time we saw each other, Alamigo had just fallen, so you can guess how many summers it's been. And in all that time, not a word from the fool.
Ah, well, my dealings tended toward the modest and mundane, unlike some I could mention. As I hear it, no sooner did you reach Thanalan than the brass blades clapped you in irons and dragged you off to die on the blood sands. Being a stubborn sort, you won 1,000 matches and earned yourself a place in the people's hearts while you were about it. Then, with your mountain of prize money, you bought the Colosseum and secured a seat on the Syndicate. Those balls, brother! Rags to riches does not do it justice. You're a hero to the common man.
Pah! Spare me. I am no hero. If anyone is worthy of that title, it's our friend here. Next to her, I'm little more than a glorified butcher. But you, Wilbert, you sell yourself short. By all accounts, you are an adventurer of some standing.
I like to think that I did my part for the greater good. But if you're no hero, then I'm no adventurer, not in this company. Anyway,
I know I'm all that.
I have tidings.
So there has been progress. I've let it be known that this meeting is a reunion between old friends. None will give your visit a second thought. To convene elsewhere would only attract attention. Let us speak here, in plain view of all. So it is we who have been compromised. Teleji Adeleji's machinations have shaken Ul'dah to her foundations. In such uncertain times, a man's loyalty may be bought for a fistful of gil. But if this snake has truly been in our midst for as long as you say, we must needs consider a far graver possibility. Conspiracy. Could it be that the Monetarists have been in league with the Empire from the first? Very well. I will have my most trusted men investigate the matter. Continue your inquiries in the meantime. It does me well to see you again, old friend. When next we meet, let it be over a flagon of ale.
I look forward to it. Let us reminisce of bygone days, and drink to the future of our homeland. Flame General. You wear the mantle well, old friend. I must work hard if I'm to keep up. Well, it would seem your services were not required after all. I dare say we have Roban's prudence to thank for that. Still, I was glad of your presence. My thanks, Scion.
Sure. I always like seeing my friend Ruban. Our hunt for Ivy begins in earnest, Scion. Suffice it to say, we must tread warily, but one misstep may well cost us our lives. Our business here is concluded for the time being. Let us return to the Rising Stone and report to Commander Liviera. I always forget how to say his damn last name. I've learned to say Louisoix and I've learned to say Alphino, but I've not learned the last name of them. It's said enough, my brain doesn't process it. I hate that about me because that's something that is very common. I very commonly will have some names that just stick with me, and then other ones, no matter how many times I hear it, I cannot pronounce it. Like, it literally does not matter. You could probably tell it to me right now, and I would not be able to repeat it. And I think that's that's just one of those names. And it's like it's not like that weird of it. Like, I mean, it's not a name you hear, but when I hear it, I don't think, oh, how the hell I'm gonna say that? It's not like the Admiral's name. We have returned from Udal, Commander. And at a moment too soon, something has happened. Trouble? You will recall the fourth was tasked with reconnaissance. The rendezvous site used by the IV's minion as Imperial contact. Soon after you left, we received word that the unit was ambushed en route to its destination. God damn it! According to the report, one of ours has been taken captive. The Guardians not want to treat their foemen with dignity, and I have grave fears for her safety. We must dispatch a rescue party at once. Recall those braves who are afield. Begging your pardons, Commander, but we have not the time. I'm afraid I must ask for your aid once more, Scion. An ill-prepared rescue party will only serve to provide the Guardians with more captives. Time is of the essence. Simply put, you are the best chance we have. Captain Ilberd has the right of it. I trust you are willing. But of course you are. Now, Ileana of the Fourth lies in wait in the tangle near the entrance to the Castrum Sentry. Seek her out, and she will appraise you of the situation. On it! I thought you were gonna tell me she was the one, and I'm like, motherfucker, we just got her! I'm talking about the Castrum Sentry, so that's here. I just need to get out of here and fly over there, because the Tangle's the place with the marbles and all that. Which is that way. Past the crystal and all that. At least now none of these damn toads can grab me. They can't lick me when I'm in the air. Because they won't aggro to me in the air. And if I was on the ground, they're still in my level range too, so they would still be able to aggro to me. You would aid us in the rescue mission. We are in your debt, Warrior of Light. Now, time is against us, so allow me to brief you on the situation. That thing's gonna aggro to me, I bet. The Guardians fell upon us without warning, wounding poor Resh and hauling her away to the castrum yonder. Outnumbered as we were, it was all we could do to flee and regroup. Even as we speak, the Guardians may be interrogating Resh, or worse. With her hurts, I fear that she will not long survive their attentions. We must rescue her without delay. Our order may yet be in its infancy, but the bond that binds us is as strong as mithril. None of us will stand by while a comrade suffers. We, the remnants of the Fourth, will infiltrate Castrum Sentry. Please help us find Resh, before it is too late. Come here, Resh. Where is... Leave our buddy alone. You okay, Rush? Where am I? Rush, thank the gods we found you. And thank you, Warrior of Light. Not to quit this accursed place. Rush cannot move with those wounds. She would need to be carried out. I believe a diversion is in order. Might we trouble you to provide one? Given your reputation, I suspect the Guardians will be only too happy to grant you their undivided attention. If you were to create a commotion within the castrum, we should be able to steal away unnoticed. Let us speak again once we are safely outside these walls. Sure, I'll go fuck some shit up. Fight me, bitches! Damn, they really didn't like me. They sent the fucking Vanguard after me. I mean, it doesn't really surprise me because, hello, but I've taken on far more than just a Vanguard, but you're in the way, so I'm gonna have to fight you too. No, no. No, no. And the third one. And there's no random one there, so. Sound the alarm! Have an axe. I think I've caused enough commotion here. I literally went from like room to room and beat the shit out of like 3 to 4 people in each room. Motherfucker stunned me. Okay, back to the tangle. I think we did good. Once again, right next to the fucking mud puppy. Hello. I've awaited your return most anxiously, my friend. You have done us a great service indeed. Thanks to your aid, our comrade Resh is safe, and we suffered no further casualties. Words cannot well express my gratitude. All that is left is to report the mission success to Commander the other area? Oh my god. Alphino. I shall go on ahead to the Rising Stones. I'm not far, so I'll just fly back. I mean, literally, we can see the Revenant's Toll from here. Alphino, we got him. I'm back. It does me well to see you thus return. I doubt not your prowess. Entering an enemy stronghold is generally considered to be a risky venture, and I must confess to having been a trifle anxious. Here you are, hale and whole, having succeeded in your mission as is your wont. Lest you wonder, the woman you rescued is being cared for by the Domans. Thanks to their expert ministrations, the danger is past. You have my gratitude, Lily. Allow me to thank you also, Scion. Resh owes you her life. We escaped with minimal casualties this time, but we can ill afford to be caught off guard again. The Empire is not an opponent to be trifled with. As you say, Commander, I will see to it that the men keep their wits about them. And it may yet take time, but I will not rest until we have identified and apprehended the Ivy. I have every confidence that you will succeed, Captain. As for you, Lily, I realize you have scarce caught your breath, but I'm afraid there is no rest for the weary. I require that you accompany me to Kurthis. I've been granted an audience with an Ishgardian dignitary, you see, and the man expressly requested your presence. Oh, do not look so surprised. You should be familiar with the trappings of fame by now. We shall depart as soon as you are ready. Yeah, sure. Let's go see. Interesting armor. We have been blessed with a rare opportunity, Lily, an audience with an ambassador of the Holy See of Ishgard. We are to treat with Sir Aymeric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights in Camp Dragonhead. It is considered a great honor to serve the Holy See directly as a Temple Knight. Needless to say, their leader wields tremendous political influence. We would be wise to court his favor. For that reason, I consider your attendance essential. If Sir Aymeric wishes to meet the woman behind the legend, I would not deny him the pleasure of your company. Minfilia should see the wisdom of this plan when you request her permission to accompany me to Kurthis. Mayhap you feel this to be a waste of your talents, which could doubtless be put to nobler use. If so, I should remind you that more good can be accomplished with the stroke of a pen than the thrust of a sword. Minfilia, I gotta go to Kurthis again. Meeting with an Ishgardian ambassador. By all means, I think it a wonderful idea. We have received no reports of etheric disturbances or unusual beast tribe activity of late. If Alvina believes your presence may help him to secure more favorable terms, I see no reason to deny him. In Philly, I take it Lily has explained the situation. She has. Yet welcome though these overtures are, I cannot help but wonder what prompted them. The Ishgardian have spurned all contact with the other city-states for decades. Why reach out now? Would that I knew. The question of their motives is one to which I have given no small amount of thought. Alas, I know no more than is generally known. The notoriously reclusive nation of Ishgard, situated at the center of Abelithia's spine, ruled by the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, at the head of which presides the Archbishop. Members of the original Eorzean alliance formed in the wake of Alamigo's fall some 2 decades ago. Friends of convenience who withdrew from the alliance as soon as the Imperial fleet was routed at the Battle of Silver Tear Skies. Since which time, their borders have remained closed to all outsiders. They have rejected every one of their former allies' calls to reopen dialogue, turning a deaf ear to their neighbors' pleas even when the calamity loomed large. And on the fields of Cartano, where brave men and women laid down their lives in defense of the realm, their banners were conspicuously absent. I have tried to convince Ishgard to rejoin the Alliance at every opportunity. I've explained over and over again that unless Eorzea stands united, we cannot hope to preserve our freedom. One by one our nations will fall, as once fell Alamigo. And what have mine efforts yielded? Why not? Surely this can be considered a step in the right direction? I should hope so, rather than a lowly messenger's. We have been fobbed off with in the past. This time we shall meet with a man of genuine influence. Of course, I am not so naive as to think that they come to us of the goodness of their hearts. We have something they desire, though I have yet to find out what. But such is the nature of diplomacy. They will bring their agendas to the negotiating table, and so will I, along with a handful of incontrovertible truths. The Empire will soon be at our doorstep once more. Indeed, you may be assured that I will expound upon this point and others. Let us depart for Camp Dragonhead, Lily. Our old friend Lord Hoshafont is expecting us. Since our quest to recover the Enterprise, I understand you have further ingratiated yourself with the man. Excellent work. His fondness may prove useful to our cause. Though I know but little of Sir Aymeric, I have faith that Alphanu's efforts are about to bear fruit. Curtis. To actually have the meeting before I end the video. Well, if the meeting is right away, I forget if it is or not. Ah, Lily, ever a welcome sight. Our hearts have been stoked to blazing in preparation for your arrival. It would not do for such a distinguished personage to catch cold whilst enjoying our hospitality. The gesture is much appreciated. I fear I shall ever struggle in cold climes. Ah, good Master Alphino, an honor as always. Likewise, Lord Hushafon. Forgive us yet another imposition. I fear we have relied overmuch on your aid since you so generously assisted us in locating the Enterprise. Nonsense. Any debts incurred have long since been repaid. Besides, who can say what the future may bring? House Vertem may even seek the aid of your newly formed Crystal Braves. In any case, I am simply delighted that the Holy See is at last willing to grant you an audience. No doubt your discoveries at Snowcloak helped to justify the decision. This recent resurgence in heretical activity is of grave concern to us all. But to the matter at hand. Sir Aymeric arrived in Camp Dragonhead earlier, and I am told he is eager to meet with you at your first convenience. You are doubtless weary from your journey, and desirous to rest a while by the warmth of our hearth. But if you are willing to forgo such comforts, pray inform the knight stationed outside the intercessory. He will grant you entrance and send word to the other attendees. As inviting as your hearth sounds, I think it best we proceed forthwith. Let's go. As I say, I'm pretty sure that place is right here. We have been expecting you, madam. Pray take your ease inside, and I shall summon the others. Proceed inside.
Have faith, my friend. You need only state your case with confidence and clarity.
Commander Leveilleur, it is both an honor and a pleasure to meet you. I am Aymeric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights.
Alphino Leveilleur, at your service. Your reputation precedes you, Sir Aymeric. I think we will find that we have much in common.
Speaking of reputations, yours towers over us all. Does it not?
I just do what I gotta do.
It does indeed, Lord Commander.
I am not too proud to admit that I have followed your activities with an interest bordering on fascination. Full glad was I to learn that you would be joining us. Now then, shall we begin?
We know full well that the Garleans will return in force ere long. What is more, we have yet to achieve a lasting victory over the primal menace. The beast tribes continue to summon their gods, and each incarnation is stronger than the last. Ishgard is not immune to these threats. I must reiterate that it would behoove your nation to rejoin the Eorzean Alliance.
Once again, I must respectfully disagree.
On what grounds?
Despite their presence in Kurthus, the Ixal do not concern us. Their territorial claims pertain to Gridanian lands, and it is the people of Gridania whom they harry. Consequently, the Holy See judges this to be a Gridanian affair, and Ishgard does not intervene in the internal affairs of other nations. Even were that not the case, our forces are wholly committed to the Dravanian conflict. We have not the knights to spare. As for the Garleans, we are not ignorant of history. We have observed the rise and expansion of the Empire, and we agree that it is only a matter of time before they resume their campaign in Eorzea.
Then surely it would be in our best interests to present a united front.
Mayhap one day, but not yet. Gaius van Belsar is dead, and the legion of conscripts he left behind lacks the will to fight. We think it highly unlikely that they will emerge from behind the walls of their castra for some time.
Forgive me, but if Ishgard's position has not changed, why did you agree to this meeting?
It was not only as a representative of Ishgard that I came here.
Pardon?
It is not within my power to change Ishgardian policy, regardless of my personal feelings. There is, however, one area in which I may exert a measure of influence. Concerns have been raised over the supplies House Fortin has offered to Revenant's Toll. These have led to calls for restrictions on the provision of aid to foreign powers. I can ensure that the shipments continue unabated.
Sir Aymeric, we would be in your debt.
No, you would not. For I require something in exchange. Of late, there has been a flurry of Dravanian activity, the purpose of which was not immediately clear. However, our astrologians have since observed alarming changes in the heavens. The dragon star waxes unnaturally bright, and there are whispers that it portends the resurrection of Midgard-Sorma.
The fallen guardian of Silvertear Falls? That's absurd.
Full many times have I gazed upon the dragon's corpse still wound around the Agrius, and wondered how different our world might be if it yet lived to plague the skies. I do not know, and I do not wish to know, nor does any son of Ishgard. Yet the mere presence of Dravanian forces is not sufficient grounds to send knights to Mordona, whatever our astrologians say. As I told you before, we have not the forces to spare.
But we do. So you will intervene on our behalf if we agree to watch over the Keeper of the Lake.
Do you accept these terms?
I do. I will see that you are kept abreast of any developments. I regret that we could not come to a similar agreement on other matters, but I understand that you are not at liberty to make such decisions. Nevertheless, I hope that what we have accomplished here today will serve to demonstrate to your countrymen that we can work together towards a common goal. Mayhap one day we shall look back on this moment as the first step towards a united Eorzea.
Mayhap we shall, Commander.
What is the meaning of this?
The caravan, my lord. It's been attacked. It was Iceheart, my lord.
What? By the Fury! All our precautions were for naught?
Intercession of the Saint. Let's accept it, but we'll call it after this. Just when we were starting to make progress. And to make matters worse, the caravan they spoke of was bound for Revenant's Toll of all places. Honestly, were I so inclined, I should think the gods were conspiring against us. Happily, however, I am not. I would know more of this attack. Let us speak with Lord Hushafont and find out what he has learned. I'll go walk over there and then I'm gonna call this video. We finally met somebody from Ishgard. That's not, you know, it's like actually from inside Ishgard. So, give you one little tiny thing. Since you already know we're gonna be in Ishgard at some point because of literally our teleporter or whatever ratted it out. Ishgard, if I haven't already said this anyway, Ishgard is Heaven's Ward. So once we get done with A Realm Reborn, we'll actually be entering Ishgard eventually. Not right. I think even at the start you don't enter Ishgard. I could be wrong. It's been a while. But anyway, I like how my little buffalo calf is running around on the table. Oh, never mind. He jumped off. He has more common courtesy than I do. I'm still standing on the table. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe, and see you in the next video.